I'm Roshan, recording experiment 2 compiler lab. This experiment is about simple table generation. Uh, let's say for an input like this, it's a code snippet, and in that, let's consider a variable declaration. You need to generate a table which will have the name of the variable, the type of the variable, and if it contains a value, that too. And for a function and function declaration as input, you need to give the return type, the name of the return type, name of the function, and the number of parameters, and also the type of the parameters. So this is what the table will look like. So the table contains the ID, data type, return type, the value, number of parameters, and the type of parameters. Let's see the code. This is my code. First I declared the known set of data types. So I have void, int, float, double, long, short, char, boolean, etc. Then I have few buffers. First I include the file and the program using the file class. Later I connect it with the input stream object, like input stream classes, using the object FIS. Later I use the buffer reader class so that I can buffer and read the input, so that I have to read one line at a time. So using a loop, I read one line at a time. So this is the loop. Here, first, when I read a line, I remove all the single quotes on it. That is to avoid issues with char, because in a symbol table for a char with a value y, let's say char ch equal to y, and there are two single quotes, you don't need them when it comes to symbol table. So you can just directly remove them. Then the first thing I do is to see if there's a function in that line I have read now. So if there is a function, I do a set of operations. If there isn't a function, that means if it's a variable declaration, I do another set of operations. So let's say if it's a variable. So if it's a variable, first to do is in the line I took, I traverse it character by character, and each time I read a number or an alphabet, lowercase or uppercase, I buffer them inside S. So once I see something other than a number or a character, what I do is like when I encounter a space or a special character or a operator or punctuation, I see if I got a word like in, let's say in, and I read I, N, and T, then I read space, I know I have something, I have read something before it. Then now I'll see like what is it. If what I read, if what is inside the buffer is there in the data type array, then that means it's a data type. Otherwise I'll see if it is a um, value. To know if it is a value, I'll see if it is preceded by a equal to. So I'll see the character, um, I'll see where I am at, like my current position in reading, that is given by I. Then I'll subtract what is there in the buffer, so I know, then I subtract -1 from it, so I know the position of equal to, and I'll see if there is an equal to at that position. If there is no equal to there, I know I haven't read a value, so I will print it as an identifier with the data type before it. Now if it is a function I read, I do a different set of operation. Like first I split the function. I split it into two halves. First half is from the beginning to the opening bracket, and the second half is from the opening bracket to the semicolon. The second half contains a parameter list. The first half contains the return type and the function name. So I can directly yeah, I process the second half to find the number of parameters. Here this is the logic I use is, I count the number of commas on it to find the number of parameters. So if there is no comma, it may be no parameters, or maybe just one parameter. So I trim the parameter, like the second half. So if there is no parameters, there will be the size of the second half will be 3. That is just a opening braces, opening bracket, closing bracket, and semicolon. It's 3. If it is not 3 and there is no comma, it means I have one parameter, and if it is 3, that means I have no parameter. So if it is more than one comma, what I do is I take the total length of the uh, line. Then I replace all the uh, commas with null, and then I take the length of it. So I know the previous length and the current length, and then I subtract it. I know like these many commas were missing, and for one comma I know there is two. One comma means there's like two parameters. For two comma there are like three parameters, so that's number of commas plus one. So I get the number of parameters, and to find the type of parameters, type of data types in the parameters, I replace the commas, opening bracket and closing bracket, with a white space. Then I spread it with white space, and I traverse through the array which has the which contains the result of splitting. And if any of that content in the array is in the data type array, then I'll print it as a data type. Otherwise I like leave it out. Now to prepare the parameter for the next session, like let's say this is my output. So in the output, for the here I have input float, add, index, int y. This index int y has also to be separately processed. So I feed this to the second half of the code, like I fed the first like int a comma b variable declaration. I convert this into the form of a variable declaration and feed it to the second half. So uh, for that I just store para in line, and the rest of the code will process line like I usually did for the beginning. That's all. Thank you.